quiz show, baby. It's a quiz show. Quiz show.
Hello and welcome to the Cardboard Playhouse Theater Company's quiz show. I'm your quizmaster, Jason, and today we have a very special guest assistant to the quizmaster, Art Martinez.
Hey, Jason. Hey, everybody.
Hello. So I've been told that I'm supposed to call you the temp. Carissa takes offense to you being the assistant to the quizmaster since that is her title.
I can deal with the temp. I kind of like that. That's okay. I actually called myself the pinch hitter, but I like the temp better.
Nice. So we are streaming from home today. The spike in New Mexico has gotten pretty bad, and rather than take any chances, we're just going to do this from home. Art is now a QR code.
So if you want to play, take a picture of my face right now with your phone,
Right.
and you'll be able to get into the game real quick.
Right. So you want to use that QR code to play from. I think the easiest thing is to use your phone, or Art has said that he has better luck with a tablet. But you want to use a different device to watch the stream than you do to actually play the game. It's a little too quick to switch back and forth. The video stream actually has a little bit of a lag. And the mobile app where you answer the questions has zero lag. So you want to be watching your phone for the actual questions, not waiting for me to read them. I guess lurkers like Doug, it's better to just watch the stream. But you want to keep an eye on your phone. We're going to, we had the QR code up there before. We're going to switch over to our first round screen. So to give you a rundown of how this
Jason.
Yes.
Hi, it's Kristen. What did people win if they win the quiz show?
I'm not exactly sure. I think I don't think we're giving away tickets to the show anymore.
No, because that's not happening at the house right now.
So we're giving away mugs, the Cardboard Playhouse Theater Company mugs filled with Gummy Bears, and I believe it's still valued at $14.35. That's correct. And eventually, for all of our out-of-towners, we're gonna get those sent out. Thank you, everybody, for making it to our time change. We are now going to be on every other Wednesdays at 8 p.m. I am like in the void, except I don't have Archer behind me talking. So John, I forget his name, the guy that's a voice for Archer. There it is. So we are going to do 6 total rounds of 5 questions each, varying categories. I Instagrammed out the categories earlier this week. I don't know if we have the Instagram handle. So they are, sorry. Quizmaster Jason 505. I usually will post at least by the Monday before we have games to give you what the round titles are going to be, and then we usually tweet the day or Instagram out and tweet. There's a QM Jason 505 Twitter handle also. Scott Max made the time change. I'm glad to see that.
Welcome, Scott. Good to have you.
So Scott Max is the man to beat again. I think he took it last time. Right. So there's going to be five regular rounds of 5 questions, diverse categories, fairly easy questions. I think it's really about the category diversity that makes this fun. The winner of each of the 5 preliminary rounds will be eligible for the prize in the 6th round. Everybody can play the 6th round, but only the 5 winners of the previous rounds will be eligible for that mug. So, Art, how you feel?
Good. And if you're a lurker out there that's just watching thinking, I don't know anything about those categories, play and guess. Because the faster you guess, and if you happen to guess right, you may get more points than the person who knows the answer and waits 15, 20 seconds. So
So according to the guy who tends to win the majority of these things that I've been around, which is all of them, his philosophy is that it's better to be fast and wrong than slow and right. There is a time aspect to it. You cannot change your answer, but there's no penalty for wrong answers. So if you don't know, just go ahead and guess. Okay.
Worked for me too. So
Yeah, that's right, El Chapo. I feel like I'm forgetting something. We have our producer back. If you guys watched last time, Carissa and I had to produce our own show, and it was wholly complicated. So we are so glad to have Kristen back.
And I am happy to be here too, guys. Got your backs. We're all good. So when you guys are ready, just let me know.
Okay. So the first round, I usually like to pick the topics that I come up with questions about based on historical birthdays. And today is Meriwether Lewis's birthday in 1774. So we have a whole round on the Lewis and Clark expedition. We've got 11 players. I think that's great. This is mostly for fun. We're not trying to break any ratings records or anything here. So let's get started. So Art, how much do you know about the Lewis and Clark expedition?
Not a lot. I know a little bit about Meriwether, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. From which large western city did the expedition begin? Remember, the country west wasn't the same. Chicago, New Orleans, Detroit, or St. Louis? So at the time, we just purchased the Louisiana Purchase there. And so the Lewis and Clark expedition was to go and explore all of that. So the U.S. really didn't go west of the Mississippi until that. So our western cities are now what we pretty much call the Midwest, which I don't know at what point in time this was the middle of the West.
It's Meriwether Lewis's birthday today, Catherine.
Yes. And it is St. Louis. Yes, it began and ended in St. Louis. They took off from there because they had to cross the river. All right. Before becoming the leader of the expedition, Meriwether Lewis was the personal secretary to which U.S. president? Is it Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, John Adams, or James Madison? Does anybody happen to know out there who was the president during the Louisiana Purchase? If you do, that's probably the answer.
That's it probably is.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you Wisconsin girls.
My problem my problem with the term Midwest isn't where it is, it's what it's called. I don't know, was Madison in? Well, they talk about Adams in Hamilton, but I don't know if he was actually in the musical.
James Madison's in the musical, most definitely.
Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. Turns out he met Lewis met Clark because Lewis was court-martialed for shooting a senior officer in a duel. Fun little tidbit. That's not a question. Jefferson, since you already know that was the president, Jefferson, concerned about the welfare of the native peoples they would encounter, suggested that the expedition take along a vaccine for what disease? Was it malaria, cholera, smallpox, or scarlet fever? I thought this was pretty interesting because you don't think about vaccines in the very early 1800s.
No, this is really interesting. I did not know this one. So
yeah. If anybody saw the John Adams miniseries that had, I always draw a blank on that guy's name, the guy who won drinking in fucking Merlot, that Abigail Adams actually experimented with these vaccines and gave them to his kids or to their kids. It is smallpox. Yeah, so they the way that they vaccinated people for smallpox is they would carry around cowpox, and they would purposefully give people cowpox because cowpox was easier to get over than smallpox.
But cowpox is big and smallpox is small. So
Yeah,
how did they do that?
it's in the
Shove it
same family, I guess. Well, again, according to the miniseries, that scene, they would dip a needle in it and then puncture it into the skin to give somebody cowpox.
Oh, God.
It wasn't great. Some people died from that. Before becoming the leader of the expedition, oh, wait, nope, went the wrong way. Hang on, there we go. Interpreter and guide Sacagawea was from which native people? Was it the Shoshone, the Iowa, the Crow, or the Blackfoot? I don't know if this one's obvious.
How come she's not on the coin anymore? What happened there?
Well, I mean, those coins are still technically worth money.
Yes. But how come they took her off? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So there's a really interesting story I did not know about. Eventually, Lewis eventually adopted her children. But while they were on the expedition, they came across a Shoshone tribe. And it turns out
timing.
It was the leader of that particular tribe was her brother, that she had been kidnapped by another tribe as a child and taken off to live with them. And during the expedition, she was reunited with her brother. Okay, only one member, Sergeant Charles Floyd, died during the expedition. How did he die? Was it dysentery, a ruptured appendix? Did he drown, or was he mauled by a bear? I had to channel the Oregon Trail on this one.
I guess there's a phone app, I guess, for Apple of Oregon Trail. I would like to play it, but I do not have an Apple product.
Yeah, I don't. I have a moral dilemma to Apple products. The Oregon Trail answer, by the way, is not the correct answer. I didn't mean to misdirect anybody.
That's almost as bad as giving away the answer, Jason.
It's not my fault if you don't know what it is. It's a ruptured appendix. Out of all the things that could happen to him, his appendix burst.
Wow.
Yeah. And Shannon and Jim. Nice.
Bravo.
Looks like adding that exclamation point really did it. Carissa answered fast. She didn't get as many right and still came in second. Good job, Scott Max and Shadowcat, for also getting 4 right. Nobody aced this one. I'm curious as to which one threw everybody off, if it was the same one or what. You bastard. What is Taylor talking about?
I've got my stuff written down, Jason. So when you're moving forward, we're good to go.
All right, let's take a look at what the next one is. I feel like Superman show more close. I guess I missed the thread that's going on in the chat there. So, first ladies, it's Rosalind Carter's birthday. That lady was born in I want to say 27. She was born in 1927. She is 94 today. Oh, yes. Lewis and Clark is not a Superman show. Although it makes you wonder if Lois and Clark, that's what they were shooting for. Okay, so in my opinion, this first ladies round, this is the hardest one tonight.
Oh, okay.
I think dysentery. So my misdirection did actually work. If Catherine couldn't hear me from on the other side of this door, she wouldn't have gotten that misdirection so quickly.
I told you, Jason, that was.
Yeah, it wasn't dysentery. All right. Right. So everybody, just in case I forgot to say this before, you don't have to do anything in between rounds. Your phone should actually transfer your answer sheet over, and you should be ready to go on that one.
But
So
if you just joined the stream,
Yeah.
scan this QR code, and you can play in this round moving
Yeah.
forward.
yeah, you can jump in. Remember, we're just doing we're the winners of each one of the individual rounds is eligible for the final. You can join in, quit, join in again, and totally work. All right, I think we're gonna get this one started. That's a little fast. I don't know. Yeah, let's just get going. So, first ladies, this one isn't as common of knowledge as I would have liked to when I picked this category before I wrote the questions. So we'll see how this goes. Whoop. And get to that one. And Dolly Madison was the first American to send a telegraph message. Who sent it? Was it Samuel Morse, Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Edison, or James Madison? So James Madison keeps coming up a lot. And again, is not the right answer. So I didn't realize this, but yeah, so I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? If you're going to invent a technology and send a prototype message, you're probably going to send it to the president. Wasn't there a Dolly Madison brand of like pastries?
Yes.
Fast food.
Yeah.
I mean, those ones you used to get like in the middle of the night when you finished drinking.
Yeah.
After
Samuel Morse.
with the burrito.
Right. Samuel Morse. So yeah, so the guy that invented the telegraph sent it to the White House, and apparently they let her respond. So don't get thrown off on this. Pay attention to the wording on this one. Who was the first lady born in a foreign country? Is it Melania Trump, Louisa Adams, Eleanor Roosevelt, or Hannah Van Buren? Turns out there's only two.
These are tough questions, Jason.
I know.
These are not easy.
No, this is going to be our education round where you learn a lot of stuff, but don't really get the questions correct. Trust me, this is as hard as it gets tonight. We're going to do album covers the next one on this one. We're going to get a nice little visual round.
Oh, that's something I can handle a little easier.
And it's right in your time, Art. It's totally about the 70s.
Thank you for reminding me.
It's Louisa Adams. Yeah, so Melania Trump was only the second. No, I did not say these were easy. These are the hardest ones. So yeah, Louisa Adams was actually born in England. And by the time that was John Quincy Adams' wife. And by that time, everybody at that age had actually been born in America. Abigail Fillmore was the first presidential spouse to earn a salary before marriage. What was her profession? Was it a nurse, a teacher, a secretary, or a business owner? Let's see if my wife thinks this one's hard. Art, do you have any? You know what? I didn't tell Art any of these. He has no idea what the answers are. I really, you know what? The chat is so quiet. I thought Carissa was going to talk a lot more shit tonight.
I think people are just having to think tonight is the problem, at least with this round.
We'll fix that on the next one. The next ones are a lot easier. On both of those choices. Good. Yeah, so she's torn between that. It's a teacher.
And I would have guessed that.
It's a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sexist, but you know what? In the 1800s, that was real.
Yep.
Lucy Hayes, who hosted the first Easter egg roll on the White House lawn, also was the first to ban what from the White House? Was it smoking, public concerts, cameras, or alcohol? The first, not the last. Oh no, Catherine picked nurse.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
My guess is that it's alcohol on this one, but just because I would imagine her husband was probably a drunk. So
maybe, right? Yeah, there was a lot of
Could be.
temperance stuff going on in the 1800s too. It was to restore decorum to the presidency. I have a feeling before Hayes, it was alcohol. I'm trying to remember who was before Hayes. I think it might have been Grant, and I think Grant drank a lot.
I'll drink to that.
Now this one's my favorite one. Which first lady has won an Emmy? Is it Nancy Reagan, Hillary Clinton, Jacqueline Kennedy, or Michelle Obama? Turns out this person, really? You got the alcohol one? Turns out this person gave a televised tour of the White House that got her an Emmy. So if anybody's thinking Nancy Reagan because she was an actress, no.
No, and Catherine picked that.
Oh, right, yes. And TikTok. Yeah, it's Jackie Kennedy. Jackie Kennedy in '62 won an Emmy for giving a tour of the White House. Michelle
I think I saw
Obama,
a picture of that posted on Instagram sometime this week too. There, Jason.
not of this one. Not of this one. There might have been other hints to other questions posted on Instagram if you follow the Quizmaster Jason 505.
Follow.
Funny little fact though, Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama both have Grammys. They have Grammys for spoken word for audiobooks. And Shauna with 4 out of 5. Good job.
Oh my gosh, Shauna, great job.
Scott Max holding it down with 3. Quigley Adams. Wondering who that one is. I wonder if it's related to First Ladies. Yeah, this was a rough round. Okay, I promise they get easier after this one.
I got everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Jason.
Awesome. So let's move on to 70s musical artists by album.
Here we go.
So we try and have at least one visual round. We've done TV shows, we've done movies, and so I figured the natural progression of this is to do album covers. So I wanted to start with the 60s. There's not a lot of iconic 60s album art. There's a lot of iconic bands from the 60s, but all of the iconic band album art, it's all the Beatles. So I almost did an entire round on Beatles albums by the cover, but there's only so many albums you can put in the multiple choice before everything is the same damn answer. So,
and the 70s, let me tell you, had some of the most iconic. I have a whole bunch of 70 albums still, original, and they are some of the most beautiful artwork you have ever seen.
It's a good decade for album art. I really don't know what's going to happen when we get to the 2010s. I'm not sure there's albums at all anymore, let alone album art. So the way I'm doing this one, we got to the movie posters. We started giving out the directors' names. So I wanted this one to be a little more accessible. So I'm going to give you the name of the album, and you're going to tell me the artist. Shouldn't be that hard. I don't know if there's any the zillennials or what they're calling the people after the millennials. They're not going to know these. Mom was a toddler. No, I was born in 76. I knew most of it. So 1979, Highway to Hell. Is it Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Aerosmith, or AC/DC? I also tried to pick a lot of album covers that actually had the bands on them. And these are not small albums. These are huge albums.
Huge albums. I think this was Lawrence Welk's biggest. Oops, I gave it away.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to come up with a round about music that had, or like rock songs that had bagpipes in it, mostly for this band, another song by this band. There's not that many.
Yes, Catherine, you should know
You
who these
really
people are.
should. Oh my God. There's going to be a lot of ridicule on that one. Yeah, that's AC/DC. That's Angus Young.
Malcolm. Yep.
Yeah.
Two
Bon
brothers.
Scott. This was before he died in that bus wreck, I think
Yep.
it was. Yeah. They're from Australia, except for the Youngs. London Calling, 1979. Is it the Smiths, The Cure, the Buzzcocks, or the Clash?
Great album. I mean, this thing, every song on it, and this is the days when you had to listen to the entire album in order to really appreciate the music. And this particular one was one of those. It was just, it spoke to me. It really did. It was great. It ignited stuff, you know.
It should. If anybody has seen Stranger Things, this plays pretty heavily in that as well. No, but I love how bands used to totally get tore up about the order in which they would put the songs on the albums to create an overall experience.
Yes.
It's the Clash. Yeah. Title track on that one is excellent and used like everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Anytime.
Listen to the whole thing. Listen
Yeah.
to the whole thing if you get a chance.
I think when the Friends did when they went to London, this was even in a Friends episode. 1977, Rumors. Is it Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, ABBA, or Elton John? This, for many, many years, was the best-selling album of all time.
Yep.
I believe until Michael Jackson cranked out Thriller.
And what's interesting is a lot of this music has had a resurgence in recent times. You know, I could say that about every single artist on this list that's on this question has had a resurgence recently.
Well, and when we get our record player, I bought this album, so
see, I have
good.
been educating my children.
They want to see the album covers, Jason.
Yeah, but you know there aren't any. There aren't any album covers. Fleetwood Mac, yes. Yeah, so from 77 and then Thriller came out in 83. I think with the exception of Dark Side of the Moon, nothing has sold like more total copies.
Not albums. There have been singles that have sold tremendous amounts, but as far as albums, there aren't a lot up there that had that. And this one was, I think everybody that owns music from the 70s has this album in their collection.
Well, and then Stevie Nicks, like totally looking like a witch, like she is. So I didn't put the album title on this one. 1976, it's a self-titled album, but I think that picture, if you know who it is, you know who it is. Is
oh
it
my gosh.
Talking Heads, Blondie, the Ramones, or the Velvet Underground?
You are picking all my favorite bands tonight, Jason. I love it.
I realized I was a little, at first, you should have seen the original list of questions I was doing. It was all guitar rock. I had to force myself to kind of diversify. And I know Fleetwood Mac is technically guitar rock, but I couldn't bring myself to bring in any sort of disco or any of that garbage. The 70s is all about guitars and amps and drugs. It's all about drugs. I think actually even I Want to Be Sedated is on this album.
It is.
Yeah. That's the Ramones. Yeah. If you spot Joey Ramone in any picture, you know it's the Ramones.
It's the Bangs, you know, the Bangs that gifted the Ramones away every time.
I'm not, I don't know, judgy.
Catherine.
Disco sucks. Okay. 1972, the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Iggy Pop, David Bowie, Queen, or Lou Reed? Okay, you think I was judging before? No, I'm not going to say it. I think everybody like confused Ziggy Stardust and this performer. It's
And
almost
he
like
wanted it that way, though.
Yeah.
He actually wanted it that way. Was the same as the person. I mean, and that's kind of what made it so awesome.
and he changed music in that, where he was one of the first people to create those other personas that he completely engulfed.
Yep.
And didn't pretend to be anything else. Yes, it's David Bowie. Listen to this. I talk about concept albums and the flow of one song into the other. Definitely one of these.
Stories. These are
Shannon
stories.
and Jim
Shannon and Jim
again.
again.
So we're gonna. They're already on the list. So it looks like Carissa finally gets to be eligible for the final. She was very excited to compete in the final. So Carissa could not be here tonight. She really was getting stoked on being able to play, though.
And we can't wait to have her back on co-hosting again, so I can go back to play, because I really like it. And now that it's on Wednesday nights, I get a chance to play. So I'm really
band
excited.
practice on
No
Wednesday.
band practice on Wednesdays.
I think Carissa might be overcompensating. I think she's worried about her job, Art.
I think so. She's, it's that underhanded, yeah, you guys are doing a great job kind of thing.
Oh no, Scott Max.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
this, Art always complains about this when he plays. He swears that if he plays on a tablet, he makes less mistakes.
True.
My tablet's really big, so I have fat fingers.
Yeah.
It helps.
I have everything I need, so we can move
Okay.
on to the next round.
All right. So the next one, it is Roberto Clemente's birthday. I don't know if anybody knows him.
Yep.
He was a big deal on the Pittsburgh Pirates. He died in a plane crash, like at the height of his career. It was the last person who died. Kobe, right? It would be like when Kobe died in that helicopter crash. That's what Roberto Clemente was in the 60s, right? He died in the 60s.
That's what he played. No, actually, can I say the year that he died? He died in 1972.
Oh, okay.
So it was a little bit later than that, but it was very sad.
Yeah, I wasn't alive. Sorry. So we're going to split this up. It's not about the baseball team. It's about Pittsburgh, and it's about Pirates. So I have a feeling the first ladies might have deterred some people. So we're down to 8 people. If anybody didn't make the transition and wants to come back in, feel free to scan that QR code and come back in. There's 2 more regular rounds before we start the final. You just have to win 1 more. And let me just double check something. Right. Okay. Let's get this started. Oh, 1 more person jump back in, so we have 9.
Excellent.
Nice. So on Pittsburgh and on Pirates.
Catherine, there's not a lot to say about Pittsburgh, so
Pittsburgh has more what than any other city in the world? Is it elevators, bridges, railroad tracks, or trolley cars? This was one of the most interesting facts that I found about Pittsburgh. There's a few interesting things, but this one is the thing that they seem to love the most. In addition to being the Steel City, they are also known as the city of these things.
Yes, Catherine.
I'm between 2 choices because they are the steel capital, so we'll see if I'm right.
Yeah, and these aren't thrown in there by mistake. These are intended to screw that up. Bridges, they have the most bridges of any other city in the world. Turns out they have 3 more than Venice. Venice previously had the record for the most amount of bridges, and Pittsburgh has 3 more than Venice, Italy does.
Nice. And Nash Bridges was played by which actor?
That was Don Johnson.
Very good.
With Cheech Marin.
Yep.
Yeah. And didn't he have in his car, didn't he have an actual like vinyl, like an LP player? He had a turntable up
Yes.
under the dash.
He did.
Yeah, I've never watched that show.
But those are things I hadn't either, but those are things you got to know.
What is the formal name of the pirate flag depicting a skull and crossbones? Is it the Black Banner, Hell's Patch, Jolly Roger, or it has no formal name? I think this one's pretty easy. I don't want to shame anybody who didn't know it, but Art, you have a guess? Don't say it out loud, but you think
I do.
You know what that one is? Yeah.
I do have, and the only reason I know is because Speak Like a Pirate Day falls on my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Get some more Whistle Pig. Whistle Pig is probably my favorite rye whiskey. No, I thought about it. I thought about there being a Pirates of the Caribbean, but I thought too many people would do research on it. So it's the Jolly Roger.
Yes.
Jolly Roger. Yeah, when I announce the category rounds, I try and think of what the most common things. Yeah.
Arg.
Okay, this one is damn interesting too. Which McDonald's sandwich was invented in Pittsburgh by a franchise owner in 1967? Was it the Big Mac, the Quarter Pounder, the Filet of Fish, or the Egg McMuffin? There turns out at the McDonald's in Pittsburgh, where the sandwich was invented, there's a whole museum just dedicated to this one sandwich. I've never been to Pittsburgh. I don't know anything about it.
You know, this always reminds me when you have questions about sandwiches of that one skit from Saturday Night Live, the Earl of Sandwich, and he comes in and he's like, "What would you like to eat, sir?" "Oh, just some bread with some meat between it, please. Thank you."
What?
What? Sorry. 70s humor again.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. It's the Big Mac. Yeah, so they have a whole museum to the Big Mac in Pittsburgh. That's cool. I mean, thank you. I mean, the Thousand Island dressing people needed something to put their shit on. What series from Starz is written to be a prequel to Treasure Island? Is it Silver, Captain Flint, Black Sails, or Pirates? I put this one in here because I knew my wife didn't watch the show. I loved this show. I watched all 4 seasons of it. Imagine Game of Thrones if Game of Thrones was all about pirates.
This will be interesting. Miliwake, I did not know this.
Okay, thank you, Carissa. Oh, yeah. Actually, it's funny. So I forgot. I didn't consider that one. I didn't consider. Sorry, Kristen. You do it. You do it. Right. So she didn't know what show. Oh crap. Sorry. I messed around with the damn thing too long. It's Black Sails. Yeah, it's called Black Sails. I don't know if it ever really had a big like viewership. I think Starz just kind of stuck with it because they didn't really have much else going on. I don't know. It's a good show. Watch it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Jason, I don't think I have any knowledge of that at all.
It doesn't suck. What long-running children's show was filmed and produced at Pittsburgh's WQED, the first community-sponsored TV station in the U.S.? Was it Sesame Street, The Electric Company, Blue's Clues, or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? So it turns out it was the 5th PBS affiliate, but the first one that was actually sponsored by the community and seemed to drive the whole the pledge drive stuff that they have. It kind of began all of that. But it turns out the creator of this show actually lived in Pittsburgh, and that's why it started there.
And this one I only know because I saw a documentary on it recently about it. But
Yep. And Tom Hanks played this person in a movie. It's Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yep.
And ran for many, many years. I think they even, I think PBS even spun off Something about the tiger puppet. Has its own show now. All right, let's see how Pittsburgh and Pirates did. Chelsea
comes in and wins.
Also got perfect, but looks like Chelsea was a little faster on that one. Scott Max coming in third. Has Scott Max qualified for the final yet?
Kristen?
No.
Ooh.
One more chance, buddy.
He's got one more chance to qualify. And here's the thing, Scott Max, send me an email because I need to know exactly how many mugs I owe you. I think it's 6.
Oh, okay. I was going to say 5.
But
6 sounds completely reasonable, though.
I think it's 6, but I want to make sure I give you all the mugs you're owed. And then I need the box. I need a box that'll fit them all.
It turns out, I asked Kristen about this the other day. It turns out that where the mugs are and where the gummy bears aren't in the same place. And whenever she thinks about it, she has one, but not the other.
That is correct.
Okay.
And then my boxes are somewhere else. And then I have to get all those things together and then go to a post office. So that's a whole thing.
Kristen, are we still using the same gummies that we've been using?
Yes, the best gummies in the whole wide world.
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh,
I'm
not a fan of gummy anythings. I don't like how they get stuck into my teeth. I was one of those kids who wouldn't play.
Albany's gummies are like
The
soft
best.
and not chewy. I don't feel like they get stuck in my teeth.
Oh, okay.
It's a meal in itself.
Yeah.
That
That is
and a Jameson, and you've got a meal.
I almost drank that tonight. Oh, the ones at Sprouts. Yeah.
They're good, Catherine, but they're not, I think, better than Albanese.
So today is Andy Samberg's birthday as well. So we're doing a round on Brooklyn and 99s.
When they're starting their final season, correct?
Final season.
Yes, final season.
Yep. The first 2 episodes released already. Well, I shouldn't say released. I think they were on the actual air. But yeah, so the final season. And Rosa's not a cop in this season. She's a PI. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah. All right. So we're back up to 11 people now. I'm thinking we might have some people that are waiting for the categories to be announced before they actually join the game after First Ladies. Nothing is as hard as the First Ladies round. All right, let's get going with 11 people on Brooklyn and 99s. And these are, I don't know, I think the 2 most obvious 99 questions. But there's only 2 of them. Brooklyn is an anglicized version of Brooklyn, the city from what country that European settlers named it after? Is it the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, or England?
Nice, Jason. Nice.
So,
I like this one.
So if anybody's a fan of They Might Be Giants, there's a big clue in that song because Old New York was once New Amsterdam. So this is from the same country. So if you know where Amsterdam is, that's the answer.
Catherine, it was not made up.
Actually, so I do a fair amount of research, just mostly to fact check to make sure that I don't pull a. Oh God, I actually got a question wrong. Oh, the director of Howard the Duck. It's the Netherlands. So this one actually came from multiple sources. So it wasn't all just like a Wikipedia thing. All right. The 1983 hit song 99 Luftballons by Nena is recorded in what language? Is it French, German, Russian, or Swedish? It actually, in the U.S., made it to number 2. Didn't quite make it to number 1 because it was competing against Jump by Van Halen.
Van Halen. And let me tell you, the translation that she sang in English, if you take the literal translation of the original language, not anything close to
No.
the 2.
The lyrics were very much changed. So there was a big big article I was reading about the success of the English language version of it They had to credit a completely different guy with all the lyrics. It actually did well in England and in Ireland, but it bombed here. And the original German version did very, very well here.
Very well, and the lyrics in the German version are just really actually it's not what you get from that upbeat bump it bump kind of a tempo that it has. It just really is heart-wrenching.
They're like the German Police, where they have very upbeat songs and very horrible lyrics.
Horrible. I mean, and by horrible we mean not horrible as in they're bad lyrics, but they're just not uplifting lyrics.
Right. America's first roller coaster opened in 1884 in what Brooklyn neighborhood? Was it Bensonhurst, Flatbush, Coney Island, or Bushwick? I feel like this one's pretty obvious.
This one, yes, I agree with you.
I also wanted to have a question about Nathan's hot dogs, but I would have doubled up on the location of Nathan's hot dogs. Mostly because of what they named their hot dog.
It would have been a good question, though, if we ever do a hot dog category.
Yeah, we'll bring this up. So whenever I think of this place, I think of the Warriors. Did you ever see the Warriors?
Oh my gosh! How could 1979? Are you kidding? Hey, Warriors, come out and play!
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's Coney Island. Coney Island was the first roller coaster in America. What 60s comedy spy series created by Mel Brooks stars Barbara Feldon as Agent 99? Is it The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The Avengers, Archer, or Get Smart?
Dude, I had such a crush on her. Oh my gosh.
You know, when I was remembering, so I used to watch this on whatever the UHF station was in my town where I grew up. My memories of this had her, oh God, that girl. Who played that girl?
Marlo Thomas.
Marlo Thomas is who I actually remembered. And so I'm glad I actually looked this up on IMDb to figure out that I was been wrong for like 30 some years of my life.
She was hot too.
Yeah. I used to watch that girl all the time. Yeah. It's Get Smart. So Don Adams was total. If anybody out there watched Inspector Gadget as a kid, it was totally based on Agent 13 or oh man, what was his name in Get Smart? The Don Adams character.
Maxwell Smart.
Maxwell Smart. Yes, of course. That's why it was called Get Smart. And then they made a movie, right, with Anne Hathaway and Steve Carell.
Yes.
On Get Smart. That's the end of
it was okay, but I got to tell you, it just did not match up to the original series with.
It missed it. Yeah. It missed it by
that much.
Brooklyn shopkeeper Morris Mitchum and his wife Rose are credited with inventing what toy named after a U.S. president? Was it Lincoln Logs, Teddy Bear, Jax, or Slinky? Everybody thought they knew this until they saw the answer set. That's what I think.
Oh, Shauna, you should have had some of those.
I don't see, and I don't want to assume the age. Okay, so I'm 45. All of these questions are based on what I liked, what I remember, what I care about to write these questions for. If anybody has any suggestions for a round category idea that they want to see, put it in the comments. I'll try not to ignore you.
Shauna, shoot us one because I know you're a millennial and this would be really good. Teddy bear.
Millennials don't watch Get Smart. Yeah, it's a teddy bear.
Very funny.
You know, I look a lot younger once I shaved my beard, when it wasn't all. It's starting to come in gray again. All right, let's see. I don't know what the standings are yet, but let's see if Scott Max is actually going to get into the finals. Oh, he did. He
did. Bravo,
last minute
Scott Max.
Goal. That's crazy. We were just joking that he did that the last time too.
And he ended up winning the final game, didn't he?
Yeah. No, he did. He last quiz show, he won round 5 to qualify at the last minute, and then he won the whole thing. And Erica, best showing yet, but just missed it. Sorry. Actually, that's a pretty big point difference. I guess answering all 5 right. Sorry. Kristen's about to say something.
I'm here. Hello. So yeah, I got everything written down. So we're gonna move into our final round. Everyone is allowed to play in the final round.
Encouraged to play.
Please play.
It's fun.
However, these are the only people that are eligible to win the Cardboard Playhouse Quiz Show mug filled with Gummy Bears. And that would be Shannon and Jim, Shauna, Carissa, Chelsea, and Scott Max.
Congratulations to all those eligible. Everybody should play. So the final round, actually here, let me switch this over. Get the new QR code in case anybody got dropped and wants to join back in. Feel free to join back in. So we have a fun tradition. I think it's fun. It might piss other people off.
We have a tradition, Jason.
We have a fun tradition in the ish part of randomish knowledge is that all of the questions appear to have nothing in common, but all of the correct answers to these questions fit some sort of common theme. In the past, we've had car models, we've had characters in Little Women, we've had countries of the world. It's a fun little bragging rights type game. But if you can figure out what the theme of it is, put it in the chat. We'll give you a shout out at the end. But it might also help you figure out what the correct answers are a little bit faster because that answer fits the theme.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Art has won our theme before. I think you got the bands one, right? The one where we had the cranberries and sticks, right? We had an Achilles question to get sticks out of that.
Jim's already trying to guess. I don't know.
Well,
So
Jim knows me. He's part of my my normal quiz team. He knows where my brain is going to go, so he started guessing like Norse gods. I purposefully avoid my regular topics. I wait for random inspiration out in the world, and I'm like, hey, there's a lot of things I could ask about that. All right. We're up.
Guessing.
Weird old-time movies. No, sorry, wrong. So we actually gained a player for the final round. So let's see how this goes. I think this one is my hardest one yet. I don't know. Carissa thinks she knows it based on the Instagram, which 2 pictures went out to give hints on that. During the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key wrote a poem that would later become the Star-Spangled Banner after witnessing the British Navy bombard what U.S. fort? Is it Fort Knox, Fort Defiance, Fort McHenry, or Fort Lafayette? Everybody seems to know the Star-Spangled Banner. I don't know if they know where he was when he witnessed that battle.
And it's not Fortnite.
Not Fortnite, no. The Navy would have, I would say there's one fort on here that the Navy would have a real hard time bombarding as it's in Kentucky. You don't answer in the chat, please.
Please, Catherine.
It's Fort McHenry. I don't know if anybody knew that. Great. You learned something tonight. Fort McHenry. I'm pretty sure I picked that one. Then why did you say love it? What are you trying to mess with other people? The inspiration for Sherlock Holmes and Hercule Poirot, Detective C. Auguste Dupin, a lot of French stuff, from the Murders in the Rue Morgue was written by which American author? Was it Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, Nathaniel Hawthorne, or Herman Melville? I guess Poirot was technically Belgian.
He was.
Yeah. But there's a quote from, an interview that Doyle gave. I know. Oh, I get it. Lafayette. Yeah,
It went right over our heads.
It did, because I watched it twice, and both times I was forced to watch it. Doyle actually in an interview said that this person who wrote this actually invented the detective genre, and had he not
See what you started, Catherine?
had he not written this book, there wouldn't have been a Holmes or Poirot. Edgar Allan Poe, the father of the detective novel.
Great book, by the way, too. This whole story is really good.
Yeah,
The guy was
Fairly
demented.
short. Yeah, fairly short though.
Yes.
Admirals. No, Jim, sorry. Twice wrong. What David Simon series from HBO introduced America to Idris Elba as drug kingpin Stringer Bell? Was it The Wire, The Sopranos, True Detective, or The Outsider? This was the other picture that I put out on Instagram. Maybe, okay, Carissa, yeah, she was right. She thought she knew what it was based on the Instagram pics. She was correct. We're not going to post it yet to get everybody else having fun doing it. But if you follow Quizmaster Jason 505 on Instagram, I hate taking pictures of things, so I tend to drop little clues and hints in those posts about the show. Just every time she says Lafayette, it'll be screaming. It's The Wire.
Yep.
Yeah. So McNulty and his partner, I can't remember what his partner was in that Instagram post. But so far we've got 3. One person has guessed it, but is everybody else still stumped? Founded in 1876, what East Coast university is considered the first research university in the U.S. and spawned a world-renowned teaching hospital of the same name? Is it Harvard, Emory, Vanderbilt, or Johns Hopkins? Anybody familiar with research universities?
I think I know, but
Yeah.
just because in the movies, whenever they're like, I have to go get this experimental research done, this is where they go.
Right.
But
As a research university, I don't remember what the actual dollar amount was, but they spend so much more than any other university in the entire college university association, which they're the founding member of that university association.
Yep. And they continue to be the go-to place.
Yeah, no, pretty much it's a lot of Hamilton stuff. That's Johns
so much
Hopkins.
Hamilton happening right now.
Johns Hopkins.
Why is it Johns Hopkins?
So that was his
Does
name.
it have an S?
No, that was his name,
Yes.
Johns.
Hopkins, yep.
Yeah, if you look him up, he was just a general philanthropist. When he died, he wanted all of his money to found a research institute. He was never alive to actually see it have his name on it, though.
Aw.
It's like Carl's Jr. or,
That's possessive. Carl's Jr. is possessive, I think, right?
Yes.
Oh, no, which is the one I'm thinking about, the steakhouse.
Ruth's Chris.
Ruth's Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know.
It turns out there was a steak restaurant that was Chris's, and then some lady named Ruth bought it. It was Ruth's Chris.
But there's no possessive in it, in the Ruths.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be. But you're right. You're right. There's no apostrophe on it. All right, last question of the final round. What 1988 John Waters film starring Ricky Lake spawned a 2002 musical and then a 2007 film based on the musical? Was it Hairspray, Pink Flamingos, Serial Mom, or Crybaby?
The original was the best.
No, totally. Right, because that had Divine. Sorry, Chris.
The fact that I was just saying the fact that they let John Travolta play that character as a woman, like he's like, I want to play it as a woman. Like, well, then we should have just gotten a woman to play that part because
totally.
Character was written to be played in drag. But
As
anyway,
drag, yeah.
Whatever.
Ooh, Scott Max is very close. Be more specific, Scott Max. I think people might be.
You are so close, Scott.
Yeah.
It's the name of the first song in the show.
Yeah. Hairspray. Good morning. Good morning, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
It's all about Baltimore. So, yeah, Edgar Allan Poe died in Baltimore, where he lived for a long, long time, very mysteriously. Fort McHenry and Johns Hopkins are both in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And The Wire is set with the Baltimore Police Department trying to infiltrate drug enterprise, tapping payphones and pagers. So here we go. Let's find out. Scott Max. He did it again. Came in at the end. Carissa, fastest, but damn. Knowing the answer, Carissa, knowing how quickly you guessed what the theme was, I'm guessing she didn't know where Fort McHenry and Johns Hopkins was.
But guys, Doug came in third.
Good job, Doug.
Yeah, Doug.
So many people got 3 right, but Doug was very, very fast. Not as fast as Carissa. There was less than 100 points separating Doug and Carissa. Scott Max, so that's number either 7. Yeah, I think
or 12. Who knows?
Good job, everybody.
But Scott Max, will you email me at cardboardplayhouse@gmail.com and tell me how many mugs I owe you? Because I will put those in the mail very soon. I promise. Promise.
Yeah, no, Carissa did get the theme. She got it from the insert. Seriously, at Quizmaster Jason 505. And if you hate Instagram like I do, because Amazon is the devil, QM Jason 505 on Twitter. I tend to just take everything I put on Instagram and just retweet it out there. So if you just want the info, figure out who I was.
Were you drama mom or something like that, Catherine?
Oh, was she? Hey, your drama mama makes sense. Based on, there's only 10 people at the end there. Yeah, that's got to be drama mama. So she's in the middle of the pack with everybody else. Instagram is totally owned. Oh yeah, Facebook. I hate them too.
I hate everybody.
I'll tell you, and it's, as a guy in software, I really should have gotten in on all this, and then I wouldn't hate them so much. But no, they're evil and destroying our culture. That's the show. Thank you for playing. Our next show, I don't know if Kristen has a banner made up yet. Let me bring up a calendar. Is going to be September 1st. September 1st.
Tell me when it is. And I'll tell you. Okay, there's Frozen.
What?
I got it. There
we go. Right. So we're on Wednesdays, 8. We're not going to do this 1st, 3rd, 5th thing anymore. It's just today, 2 weeks from now. We're going to do every other Wednesday. The next one is September 1st. Take a look at famous birthdays on September 1st. You might get a head start on what the categories would be. Carissa will be back.
She better be back. I'm ready to start playing again.
Yeah. So yeah, you're pretty good at guessing the categories too, the themes.
It was a blast, and thank you for having me tonight. It was wonderful to be here and to be on this side of it, and but it's so much fun to play. So for those of you out there, tell your friends to join us September 1st and get more people to play, because the more we have playing, the more fun it is.
Yeah. And if we can get the COVID numbers down in Albuquerque or New Mexico, yes, Disney's Moana Jr. We have postponed the show. It was originally supposed to be at the end of this month, but all the COVID spikes and all the new restrictions, we have postponed, and we are pushing it off about a month and a half, about a month and a week. Tickets are still on sale. Have we updated the dates on those? Anybody who had previously?
Yes. The tickets have been updated over at NHCC. If you had bought tickets in advance, someone will
Scott. See you later.
Yeah, bye, Scott Max. Someone will be in touch with you to get your tickets switched over to the new dates or refund your tickets if you can't attend in October.
Right.
And the National Hispanic Cultural Center has already started sending out the emails to give you the option to just move those to the same day, same seat that weekend, or to change it to another date, or to get a refund. Hopefully you'll all just change it to another date or
Sure.
time and come and watch the show. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah. So if we can get New Mexico to get their crap together and get these numbers back down, we're hoping to start doing these in. See, what did I say? She needed to leave that camera off because somebody might accidentally put her in. I think Doug was throwing it there, honestly. We want to start trying to have our audience in person. We moved this to Wednesdays in preparation for being able to do that. But now, obviously, no. So get vaccinated if you're not vaccinated. Wear your mask when you go out into the world. Don't go out into the world if you don't need to. And we'll see you on September 1st.
September 1st.